Do something classical, they said. I could do classical. Stop. This is so boring. Jazz it up. Yes! Hello and welcome to vlog 34. We're catching up to my age. Stop, I know I don't look it. So, how's your week been? What did you think of my intro? That was my little tribute to Preludes at the Southwark Playhouse, which I'll be talking a lot more about later in the vlog.
Describe your day.
Describe my day. My day began with waking.
Sunday, I get lilacs in the mail. No matter where I am, Moscow, Dresden, or New York, white lilacs.
In the meantime, I've had a really good week and I've seen a lot of great theatre, which is rare. Normally there's a few bad apples, but this week, wow, I was impressed. So I started off the week on Monday night at the Comedy Pub for the Stand Up Club's Get Up Stand Up competition, where they had 7 brand new comedy acts for us to choose our favourite 4. I was there to watch my buddy Susannah Marie, and she got through to the next round. Woo! So proud of her. Stand up is so hard. Like, I literally could not do it. I like to think I'm funny, but not really. But these guys were incredible. Now, I've never been to the Comedy Pub before, and they occupied the Attic Room, which is a lovely little venue near Piccadilly Circus. And like I say, they had 7 incredibly funny acts. It was stiff competition, but my pal Susannah smashed it. Here is a little clip from her.
Hello, how are we? Are we good? Yeah. Don't care. My name is Susannah Marie, and I am a stagey bitch. Thank you. For anyone who didn't understand that was stagey bitch. For those muggles in the room, Gryffindor, obviously, Slytherin in the bedroom. For those of you muggles in the room, a stagey bitch is someone who lives and dies by the theatre. Oh, it doesn't like whispering that mic, does it? No. But so I live and die by the theatre, not just any kind of theatre, not that Shakespeare shit. No. Musical theatre. Yes. Jazz hands, high kicks, and belted notes. Gorgeous. But you can always identify one of my gaggle, my stagey bitches, from the way we enter the room. Normally overdressed, red lipstick on, and introduce ourselves in a perfect first position. For those of you who don't know what first position is, it's a ballet term, not a sex position. That would be weird, can you imagine? Hello, I'm Susie Chase. Oh, it just doesn't work, does it? But musical theatre can inspire you. You know, inspires me every day. It inspired me to lose loads of weight. Oh, sorry. Pressured me to lose loads of weight. But apparently, didn't lose enough. Went to see an old Sunday school friend. Did you get the Jew thing? Big nose, curly hair, works in theatre, quelle surprise. Oh, you liked that one. Number 11, vote for me.
On Tuesday, I met up with my pal Alyn for lunch before he went to an audition, which he managed to book the job. Amazing! Loving your work, babe. I then went to watch Working at the upstairs at the Gatehouse. Now, I was a little bit worried about this production because I saw Working last year at the Southwark Playhouse and loved it. There it was incredible and choreographed by Fabian Alois, who recently choreographed Evita. So this had a lot to live up to. But it does, and I was really, really impressed. If you're not familiar with the show, it's basically a collection of monologues and music with contributions by various composers, including Stephen Schwartz and Lin-Manuel Miranda. So already you know that the music is good. And the monologues are based on a book by Studs Terkel. Now, this production has been produced by High Impact and directed by Amanda Noir. Amanda is an actress who I remember from Brookside. And I always get a bit giddy when I see soap stars that I used to watch when I was little. Her nephew, Jamie Noir, is musical director. Now, this is a really strong cast of 8. At Southwark Playhouse, they divided it between 4 recent graduates and 4 established performers, including Liam Tarnay. Now in this production, they've gone for 8 people of relatively the same age, which I'll be honest, I've said before, makes it feel like a grad show, because there's not enough variance in age. But, like I've said before as well, there are a lot of brilliant grad shows out there. And by comparing it to them, I'm honestly not doing it a disservice. It is brilliant. And these actors are incredible. They do a really, really, really good job. And I loved the set. It's basically constructed of scaffolding with each of the actors in 8 cubicles stacked on top of each other. It really, really worked. The choreography by Amanda Noir and one of the stars, Laura Alyn, is brilliant. And I loved what they did to create set pieces, including a bicycle. It was a fantastic show, and I really, really, really enjoyed it. What I admire about this production is that they stretched out and paid for radio mics for all the performers, so you could hear them. The costumes were simple and effective and clean, and I really, really liked that too. I was honestly really, really impressed, and it's a shame that this was such a limited run. It's only on until the 22nd of September. It was also lovely to catch up with Angie Lawrence, who's been working on this show as a production assistant. Wednesday, I went to see Preludes at the Southwark Playhouse. Now, I wasn't expecting to enjoy this production. I don't really know why, I just didn't really think it was going to be for me. But it was brilliant. Honestly, it's incredible. This is not just music, this is a stunning, dramatic piece of work. The music, lyric, book and orchestrations are all by Dave Malloy. And it's incredible. It is essentially a musical fantasia set in the mind of revered composer Sergei Rachmaninoff. And it's extraordinary. It combines classic music with a techno undertone to bring out the dramatical conflict within Sergei's mind, set in the 3 years where he had writer's block. It's a really beautiful look and insight into celebrity and fame and success, portrayed incredibly by Keith Ramsey. Keith is an exceptional performer who balances manic and chaos with such control. It's unbelievable. He reminds me of a young Andrew Scott. He's superb. Not only that, the entire cast are superb. Norton James I worked with before when I produced Parade. Georgia Louise I'd seen in Kinky Boots, and she is formidable. And Rebecca Kane is extraordinary. One minute, she's giving this formidable performance as this stern psychotherapist, and then the next minute, she's bursting into song and playing the piano. Incredible. Stephen Serlin was brought in at last minute notice when the previous actor had to drop out, and is also brilliant. And Tom Noyes, who mainly plays the piano in the piece, is exceptional. This is an incredibly talented cast assembled by Danielle Toronto, who I really respect and admire. I've known Danielle for a few years, and she's a former performer who became a producer and has had so much success. Danielle really knows her stuff and is formidable and is so straight down the line. Earlier this year, she's had a bit of a bumpy ride when her show Amour at the Charing Cross Theatre closed early. As well as that, her tour of Titanic faced difficulty when some of the investors pulled out and some of the venues had to be abandoned. But I'm pleased that Titanic is going back on tour later in the year to China. Danielle is incredible. The musical director is the incredible Jordan Lee Smith, who worked with Danielle on Ragtime at the Charing Cross Theatre. He is brilliant. The set is exquisite. A corner of the Southwark Playhouse that's never been done before, and the seating configuration is brilliant and really works with the shape of the auditorium. And the set is stunning. You've just got to see it to believe it. This show is so elegant and so articulate. There were moments that reminded me of American Psycho. And what I liked about it is it really makes you think. Nothing is explicitly explained. You have to really work to figure it out. And I love that. And the music is banging. I can say that. Stunning. It honestly is a masterpiece. And you definitely need to go and see it, especially for Keith Ramsey, who is a star in the making. It's on until the 12th of October. Thursday, I was filming EastEnders, and I can't say too much about it, but there might be a wedding coming up. That's all I'm gonna say. I always love working on EastEnders, and this time we were filming on location, and the catering was amazing. Thank you, BBC licence payers. On Thursday evening, I went along to watch an NT live screening of Fleabag. Now, if you haven't heard of Fleabag, you've been under a rock. Fleabag is Phoebe Waller-Bridge's runaway hit, which originally started at the Soho Theatre, before being commissioned and turned into a 2 6-part series for BBC, starring Olivia Colman and Andrew Scott. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, in the meantime, has acquired an astronomical level of success, having appeared in Broadchurch and then going on to write the hit series Killing Eve. Now, I know Phoebe from years ago because her director and business partner, Vicky Smith, used to be my acting mentor. And I used to do classes with her on a Monday evening where she would bring in work that Phoebe had written to test out. So I was fortunate enough to get a little bit of insight into Fleabag before it was even made. Phoebe and Vicky continued to work together on a few other projects that Phoebe had written. Phoebe then returned to Fleabag on Broadway and has recently returned to the West End for a limited sold-out run. Most people will have seen the series and not realised it was based on a play. The play itself is a one-woman show, which depicts the characters who were introduced later in the series. And like I say, I saw it years ago, but revisiting it, I was reminded how brilliant it is. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is an incredible actress. She trained at RADA, so it stands to reason. But her show feels like a stand-up comedy act, as well as being very emotionally charged. And it is very, very, very well written and delivered. Anyway, that's enough of that. On Friday, I was filming a new series with Simon Pegg and David Frost. The pair are back for a new series called Truth Seekers. And it looks like it could be the next big British smash comedy. After that, I went to the cinema to watch It Chapter 2. Oh my god, it was long and boring. I loved the first one. Those kids were brilliant. But this second one, where you're introduced to the kids as adults, just felt like they were drawing it out. And what I liked about it was that it was psychological, whereas now it just became too supernatural. And some of it was a bit grotesque. Plus the gay characters that they've created, wow. Yeah. Talk about badly depicted. I mean, on one level, it's great that gay characters are being represented. Just not like this. They were a bit stereotypical and cliche and a bit too much. On Saturday, I met up with my friend Drew Dillon, who took me for lunch on Broadway Market. Not in New York, in North London. I've never been, but it's an incredible food market, and we stuffed our faces whilst enjoying the last bit of sunshine we'll probably get this year. On Saturday evening, I went to watch Queen of the Mist at the Charing Theatre. Now, this is a play, well, it's a musical, that was transferred from Brockley Jack, which I didn't get to see. So I was really pleased that I did get to see it now, although I don't think I would have missed anything. Yeah, it's not great. It's written by Michael John LaCruza, who has also got work at the Union Theatre in Hello Again at the moment, and is based on the remarkable story of Anna Edsom Taylor, who built a barrel to plunge herself over Niagara Falls in order to make some money and become famous. I mean, to be fair, these days people just go on Love Island and Big Brother. So she was probably ahead of her time. And it is a quite compelling and intriguing story, and she's certainly a remarkable and incredibly intriguing character. But it just is stretched out so thin. There isn't really much of a story. And to drag it out into 2-act musical is a stretch. Not to say that the music isn't good and the performances are great, but yeah, it just needed more to it. The set was a bit basic. The Charing Cross is still using their new seating arrangement of a traverse theatre where they've got seating banks on each side, which is very, very hard to direct and work with. In this production, half the time you're just watching the back of somebody's head. And this production, directed by Dom O'Hanlon, haven't really utilised the set or the space. The set is basically 2 flats of what I would describe as IKEA flat pack or MFI. And it looks like an IKEA kitchen with pull-out cupboards and drawers and lots of scattered bits of furniture, which, no matter where you're sitting, you're going to miss half of it because you can't see it. Yeah. It was good, but not great, which is a shame because the cast were really good. It's led by Trudy Camilleri, who, on the night that I saw it, was dropping a few of her lines. Which, I'm not being funny, but the show's been going for long enough now. Come on. It runs until the 5th of October, so if you do want to go and see it, you've got about a week left. Sunday, I caught up with my buddy Alyn Hawke, who's just got back from Chichester, where he's been in Oklahoma. He has got a load of stuff coming up, including his own cabaret and a sing-easy called Understudy Jazz. Before that, he's going to be in the 48-hour musical challenge, Singing in the Rain, and is one of the performers on the Floating Festival's Stages Cruise. Here is a little bit of the interview, which you can find on my YouTube.
But before Floating Festivals, there's October the 13th is Singing in the Rain at the Adelphi, which
won't cost you £800.
Which won't cost you £800.
And all the money goes to which charity is it?
It goes to the Lewy Body Dementia Society, which is an amazing charity anyway. It's one quite close to my heart because my nan had dementia.
Oh, really?
Not Lewy Body dementia, because there are different kinds. But I know kind of firsthand the effect that dementia has on not just the person, but all the people around them. So it's a cause that I'm really, really happy to be contributing to. And everyone in the production is giving up their time for free, and the musicians, the actors, everyone there on the day is doing all of this work to put on a West End show for free, which is which I think is just amazing.
On Sunday evening, I was at Zedel for A Night in the Piazza, a new cabaret series produced by Tom Partridge and Danny Becker, with an entire cast made up of ensemble members from A Light in the Piazza. I was given backstage access to speak to everybody involved, including Molly Lynch and Chloe Hart. There was even a special surprise performance by Rob Houchen, who was asked during the interval if he would get up and sing. And he sounded incredible. All the performers were given their own choice of what they wanted to perform and told the audience a little bit about their song choices. Chloe sang Never Enough from The Greatest Showman, and just by chance the director and choreographer of the film were in the audience watching. Wow. Here are a few clips from the evening.
There is more to life, Ada Harris, than you ever knew, than you ever dreamed, and you've seen it now. There ain't no one doing it.
My days have little glamour, writing memos, taking calls, and wincing at the grammar written on the bathroom walls. It's all school supplies and budget size and wading through red tape. That's why I love the theatre. It's how I escape. We look to you to take us away soul-crushing jobs and emasculating pay, when our lives come up short and our hopes are sad and few, you whisk us off to some place strange and new.
I am really, really pleased for Danny and Tom and all the work that they put into it. And I'm looking forward to seeing what else they produce next, after they get back from LA, where the entire cast is taking a light in the Piazza in 2 weeks' time. So that's it for this week. I hope you've had a fantastic week. Let me know what you saw. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. In the meantime, see you next week.